I know, right? All right. Okay. Is that okay? I think that's okay. All right. So, welcome to Dream Team 2024. I got the year right. Got my name. Okay, everything's good. All right. So, that was an easy slide. Let's go to the next one. All right. So, for some of you, some of this information is going to be okay. You've heard it a million times, but keep in mind, there's brand new people. So, I'm going to go over in detail exactly what you're getting yourself into. So, this is Dream Team. Welcome to your first day. And we will start officially on Monday, January 8th. That's our first official day of Dream Team. And before that comes, though, we have pictures. If you have not thought about your before picture, you really ought to think about getting your before picture taken. We are going to offer, Sackle, you here? Raise your hand. That's the guy taking your picture. He sells them on the internet for like $4 or $5. It's a hustle. It's a side hustle. They're classy. He sells the classy ones. And that is going to be on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. till 10 a.m., I believe. And then again, Monday morning from like 6 a.m. or slightly before 6. He usually gets here because some people I know have to leave. Right before 6 until about 8 a.m. And then again, he's going to come in Monday night from 4:30 till 5:30, I believe. That should pretty much, you should be able to make one of those times. Okay, so it's important. So make that time slot come. When you come to get your picture taken, you're just going to stand. Men, just shorts. You got to show some legs, everybody. Okay, we have to see what's going on. And women, shorts and a sports bra. Don't wear one of those sports bras that takes up like your entire back. We got to skin to win, as they said in college. Okay, so you want to, and you're just going to stand like this. You're going to stand like this. And you're going to stand like this. Okay. Super easy, and then we'll email them out to you. So that is going to be on Saturday and Monday. And if you guys have all weighed in, I believe. If you haven't, you can still do one more early weigh-in on Saturday, I think. That's what I have. Yep, Saturday. And then if you don't weigh in by then your first weigh-in will be the first day of Dream Team. Obviously, everybody is encouraged to weigh in before the first day of Dream Team because, especially during the busy hours, because something like 6 a.m., 4 p.m. when there's like 6-7 teams in here, if you want to wait till the first day to weigh in, we will spend the whole hour just weighing people in. We won't get to work out, so you want to weigh in first. So what is Dream Team? Dream Team is a body transformation challenge. That's what it is. And we have run Dream Team competitions since the year 2002. The winners are all pictured over there by the scale. Then recently we started putting the big pictures up there. We have some more we need to put up too, like before that. We should get those up if I can find all of them. On Dream Team, the way it works is you are on a team of preferably 2 to 4 people. Yes, we do allow more 5, 6 people if you have to. We like 2 to 4 people. We think that's ideal. And you are going to be working out with those people in an ideal situation. Yes, there's some situations where you can't quite work out together, or maybe one team member doesn't, but we like you to be working out together as a team. That's part of the whole experience. As you come in, you weigh in with your team, you work out with your team, you sweat with your team, you go through it with your team. Okay, so if you're not on a team you should be on a team with the people you work out with. How are points awarded? Points are awarded for losing body fat and staying in the extra lean category. Last year, we experimented with giving more points. You got points for dropping categories, you got points for muscle points, we got points for staying extra lean for so many months, for dropping 10 pounds, you got a bonus point. I got rid of all of those this year. I think that the most fair way to do it is you get points for losing percentage of body fat, because that is the most fair thing you can do. Okay, a percentage for a bigger person and a percentage for a smaller person is still percent. So that's what we're going to stick with. So if you lose 1.4 percent, then you get 1.4 points. Super simple. Every week you stay in the extra lean category, you get a bonus of 0.25 points, so a quarter of a point. And at the very end, the team with the most points per person is the winning team, not the team with the most points. So some people are like, hey, how can a team of 2 beat a team of 4? Well, it's points per person. So you have to do the dividing, all right? And then there's a picture there of last year's winners. Those guys kicked some butt. Speaking of which, ladies, so for all the first several years of Dream Team, it was either all women teams or women with 1 or 2 guys on the teams that won. The last 2 years have been all men. that have won. So the challenge is going up that you ladies need to step it up this year, because I don't think you want the men to win 3 years in a row. That doesn't look good for you, okay? So let's get some of these women kicking some butt. More about the weigh-ins. I don't want to have to complain about things during Dream Team. I don't want to have to send out like a bitchy email. I already sent out my one bitching email. Remember you read it? It said house rules. That was my bitching email. So I don't want to send out any more. So please, you will weigh in with your team and your trainer on your scheduled weigh-in day before you work out. Please don't have me see you jumping on and off the scale 3-4 times a week. And that's not how we do it, okay? You can weigh in at home all you want. You can tell me what you weigh at your kitchen scale, and that's phenomenal. But the contest isn't how much does you weigh on Chris's kitchen scale. The weigh-in is how much do you weigh here on our scale. So you'll weigh in once per week with your team before your training session with your trainer. Keep in mind that the points you get points for losing body fat, not pounds. So you might step on the scale and be like, oh man, I had a horrible weigh-in. I didn't lose any weight, or only lost 0.4 pounds. But if you lost 1.3%, that was a good weigh-in. So you always want to look at the percentage that you lost. And all weigh-ins are always all points are based off your initial weigh-in. So really everything from your first weigh-in, then you have a 17th weigh-in, which is your last one. Everything in between is really just a check. You're just seeing how you're doing. Everything goes back to your first weigh-in. So if you have a bad weigh-in like week 4, like, oh man, I messed up, it doesn't matter, because once you weigh in at week 5, week 4 doesn't even matter anymore. It's always the start compared to the current week, okay? Everything else is just a checking. Please save all your discussions and therapy needs after your weigh-in till you get off of the scale and go talk to your trainer or me. I'm super good at therapy. Your trainer or your scale or your teammates off of the scale. Don't stand on them and be like, but I don't understand. The whole thing, there's a line of 4 or 5 people who need to weigh in. We'll talk after, get off the scale, okay? So make sure everybody understands all that stuff. Next slide. All right, first things first. That is a picture of our body transformation winner last year, Sarah. She still looks amazing. By the way, she kept all her weight off. In fact, I think she's lost more since then, I believe. So she's done an amazing job. And what I want you guys to do before you start thinking about how you're going to approach Dream Team is you need to get real with where you are now. We talked about when the pictures were. Every single person in here should be taking a before picture. Everybody should. I take one. Everybody should take one. A couple of reasons. One, we base a lot of our awards on the picture. Okay, we base more awards on pictures, individual awards, than we do off points. So if you don't take a before picture, you're going to lose your chance to win a bunch of different individual awards. And everybody wants to come up, get their name called and get an award at the banquet. It's fun. Also, pictures are a great way to find what I like to call your why. What is your why? Okay. If you're going to achieve anything great in any field that you're jumping into, whether it be professional, whether it be with your body, whether it be relationships or whatever, you need to find your why. Why are you doing this? Because it's always very easy to come up with a half a dozen reasons why you're not going to do something. That's easy. But you need to come up with one very, very important reason about why you're going to do it. Your why is super important. If you don't have a why, you need to really take some time these next couple days, do some reflection, and maybe put on a sad song, drive down the street, and think about why are you doing this? What is your purpose? What are you doing here? It doesn't have to make sense to anybody except for you. You don't have to share your why with anybody, and it can be a super vain reason. Like I've used this example a bunch of times because I know this is a real why for many women that have joined the gym. Maybe you're the fat friend, and you take pictures, you're always hiding in the back. Your why is, hey, I'm sick of hiding in the back. That's a great one. Or maybe your why is just, hey, I just want to win Dream Team. Or it could be a million different things. Maybe there's a pair of pants you haven't fit into in 10 years. You want to put them on. You have an anniversary coming up, whatever. But come up with your why and just remember that one reason, one good reason about why you're going to be here. Because it's easy, when you don't feel like coming to the gym to go, actually I got things to do. No, remember your why. Your why will get your ass in here. So also understand that picture that you take, so the one on the left of young Sarah over here, in the picture that you're about to take in a couple of days, that picture is the result of your decisions for the past however many years you've been living. It's a cumulative all the decisions that you've made. If you're 42 years old, everything you've done from birth to 42 has made that picture. Your habits. If you don't start changing the way you do things, that picture does not change, okay? So don't think that it's going to change just because you jumped in the gym. You have to start changing a lot of things. That being said, we'll talk about this in a second, don't try to change everything at once. That's really a disaster, recipe for disaster many times. Just make some good changes at first. Don't kill yourself or beat yourself up if you made a big mistake. Deb Kapusta, can I pick on you real quick? Because I love picking on people when I talk. Deb Kapusta has been with me on and off, but mostly on for 20 years almost, 20, maybe longer, 20. And we had a natural bodybuilder that came and visited us many years ago. His name was Skip LaCour. Look him up. He's a fantastic guy. He's still a good friend of mine and one of the best natural bodybuilders of all time. And he came here to our gym and gave us a seminar. And it was Deb Kapusta that talked about having an all or nothing attitude. Do you remember you asked him that question? I remember like it was yesterday. And he said, when it comes to all or nothing in fitness, nothing always wins. So if you have an all or nothing attitude when it comes to fitness, you're going to, my bet is on nothing. Okay, so you have to be prepared that you're not going to be perfect, and no trainers, not me, no one is asking you, not even Blair is asking you to be perfect. Okay, it's okay to have you mess up a little bit, and you can even have scheduled mess ups in a little bit. Hey, I've been following my diet real good. I've made mostly great decisions. I'm going to have a taco on Friday. That's not going to kill you guys. Okay, so don't try to be so perfect, but understand you do need to make some changes. Please learn to embrace habits over goals. I started doing this I've always done it my whole life, but a couple years ago, I read the book Atomic Habits. And ever since I read that book, I have told everybody I know when I have a nutrition talk, I've told every single person to read that book. And I don't sit there and recommend a whole lot of books, but that's a really good one. Also, Killing Lincoln is a good book, but we're not talking about that right now. We're going to talk about Atomic Habits. And what it does is it talks about winners and losers both have the same goal. You go to a tournament, there's 24 people in it. I'm in a wrestling tournament last weekend, 24 kids in a bracket. They all have the same goal. They all have the goal of winning. Only one kid wins, okay? Because it's the system and the habits that you follow, that's what's going to make you a winner at the end, not just having the goal. So you want to start to embrace the habits. I could go on and talk about the things from that book on and on, but really, over the next couple of days, you could probably bang that out in 3 days. If you haven't read it yet, I think I read it in like 3 or 4 days, and I'm like one of the world's slowest readers you ever see. So check that out. You are going to have obstacles. Obstacles will come in your way. You could say your age. I'm old. I got my kids. I got responsibilities. I got work. All those things are going to happen to everybody. You can't stop those things from happening. You need to manage those things. Okay, things are going to get in the way. You can't. They might throw a monkey wrench into things, but it doesn't mean it needs to take you completely off track. If you mess something up, you get right back on what you're doing and you deal with things. Okay, everybody's got the same big problems. Because just everybody else, whatever their problem is, it's the biggest problem in the world. Your problem is the biggest problem in the world to you. Her problem is the biggest problem in the world to her. We all have problems. You have to learn to deal with the problems if you're going to be successful. And remember that your body doesn't care why you didn't do what you were supposed to do. It just knows that you didn't do it. If you didn't come to do your weight training session, it could be because, God forbid, a family relative was in the hospital and you, oh my God, I gotta go. I'm missing you go. Or it could have been your favorite Seinfeld episode was on and you were like, hey, I'm not missing this. All your body knows is that you didn't do it. So it does happen sometimes, but just know that the reason doesn't matter, okay? So you have to try to learn to deal with everything. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's go ahead to the next slide. This is something that I don't think I've talked in depth enough about in past Dream Team nutrition talks, so I really wanted to push it hard here because I think this is where a lot of people that struggle in Dream Team, this is where they fall short. People don't track their data enough. I think that is by far. People step on the scale. Oh, I can tell you what I ate. I ate chicken and I ate rice one day and I ate broccoli for that one meal. And you can tell me all the 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 good things that you ate. Typically, people don't tell me, oh, and I grabbed a can full of M&Ms, and we went out to eat, and I had 4 drinks, we went to a brunch, okay? People don't tell you that kind of stuff. Write down every single thing that you eat. Everything, okay? It's the only way that we can help you. I know there's people that don't write down everything they eat. I don't know who you think you're fooling. It doesn't matter to us as the trainers, okay? We're not the ones trying to lose the weight. You are. So you need to tell us. I'm telling you, you don't get yelled at. We'll make fun of you and do some nice jokes and everything, but you won't get yelled at for eating the wrong thing. I'd rather you see you write it down and it looks terrible, but it's honest. Anybody who's ever shown me a food log, I will attest to that I didn't yell at you. I went through it, made fun of you, yes, but not in a lighthearted way. But I didn't yell at you. You're an adult. I'm not going to yell at you, okay? But you need to give me the information or I can't help you. You need to give your trainer the information. They can't help you. This is a very tedious task that I'm asking you to do, but it is extremely useful. What I would do if you haven't done it yet is I've in the past I've always had nutrition logs and had you fill them out. Quite honestly, just download MyFitnessPal. It's super easy. I finally did it over the Christmas break to play around with it. What you don't want to do is start tracking things. I was trying to learn it so I could help when other people have it. So I started tracking 2 days before Christmas. That is, you know what? I'm being honest. After while we were at Christmas on the Saturday, so the 23rd, I actually started tracking my first 3 meals, and then I was like, "What do you put like the little things, a sausage, or rolled up?" You know what I mean? Like I don't. You know what? I'm just not. I don't know. But you won't be doing that much when Dream Team comes. So I would download MyFitnessPal, or there's other ones. I don't know all the names off the top of my head, but there's a million good ones. I'm not saying MyFitnessPal. They don't pay me or anything like that. I would pay for the what's it called? The better, what do you call that? The premium. I would pay for the premium, 100%. 100%. Does anyone know the price? It's like $40 a year or something like that, or not even that.
It's cheaper to buy by the year than it is.
But it's not expensive. I mean, not expensive at all. And it is super duper worth it. They have every food in the world on there. My protein powder is even in there, for crying out loud. Type in BLN protein powder, boom, there it is. Shows it right up. So do that. I would download that today. And if you haven't used it, I would just start playing with it and just start getting familiar with it. And so you can start keeping track of all your stuff. It's really, because when it comes down to it at the end, it's really that simple. We're going to tell you what your meal should be. But at the end of the day, you need to be in a calorie deficit, okay? So keep track of all your food, because technically, and I'm not telling you to do this, but if we're getting technical, you could eat Hostess Twinkies all day long and still lose weight. Technically, because you're like, I mean, Kara Fucci was successful on 3 dream teams with that strategy, right, Kara? But obviously, you're not going to perform. You're not going to perform well. You're not going to be healthy and all those kind of things. But you would technically lose weight if your calories were low enough. If your maintenance level of calories was 1,500 and you only ate 600 calories worth of Twinkies, you would lose weight. But obviously, it's not going to be good. So keep track of every single thing you eat, even little things that you walk by. You grab 3 M&Ms out of a jar, then you write down 3 M&Ms. Okay? But every single thing, learn to measure things out. The more work and effort that you put into doing this tedious task at the beginning, the easier Dream Team is going to be as time goes by, because you will be able to see easily, oh, when I eat this like this, I'm losing 1.5 pounds or whatever it is. Or, oh, I'm not losing, but more my calories were 1,800 a day on the average. Okay, then I know I need to skim some out, and I can help you about where to skim, what to skim, and how much to skim, okay? Track your activity also. This is something else that I was never a big fan of in the past. In fact, I actually used to be like, I don't understand why people do that. I kind of get it now. Your watches or your phones that keep track of your steps. Here's why I became more of a fan of it. I was never really a fan because I'm thinking, I mean, I don't know how many, I don't keep track of mine, but I think for people trying to lose weight that are struggling, why it's a good idea is because I don't think people realize. I actually saw this on a YouTube video, and I was like, holy cow, that guy's got a really good point. You can always keep learning, by the way, guys. That's why you learn things. And he said a lot of people, when they're, I hate to use the word dieting, but dieting, okay, because you're cutting your calories back, you're trying to change your body, they're eating less calories. You get a little more tired. You sit around a little bit more. You don't move. We're normally, oh, hey, I'll go get the mail. You're like, can one of the kids get the mail? You know, you don't go do as many things. You might have normally been walking when it wasn't like Dream Team time. Maybe you were walking 12,000 steps a day. You cut your calories back, blah, blah, blah. Now you're like, I'm only walking 8,000 steps a day. This says calories earlier. You're doing 12,000 steps a day. Maybe you're doing 8,000 steps a day. So you keep track of that, because you might start, hey, I'm not losing as much fat as I was, and I'm eating the same, because you're not moving as much. You see what I mean? You have to look at the calories in and out, and you have to look at your activity. They're both very important parts of the program. So track your activity. Weekly structured workouts. Have a plan. Have a plan of what you're doing. Keep track of your daily movement. Don't be lazy. Weight training is crucial. That needs to be your number one focus, is your weight training. Cardio is important, but I think overrated in a way. Like you don't need to be coming in here doing 10,000 cardio sessions a week. Just a couple a week is good. I like to say for cardio, I like to say walking is good, fighting is better, and sex is best. But that's just something. Ladies, gentlemen. So, but if you're doing your cardio in here, do it intense. Do short, intense cardio bouts. Keep moving. Take your dog for a long walk. Do things like that that's going to burn extra calories, okay? So keep track of all your calorie burning. Any questions about any of that? Okay. Now let's get into the nitty gritty of the fun stuff. When it comes to actually changing your body, you would be surprised before you even worry about how many calories you're eating, how many grams of protein, carbs, fats, and all that kind of stuff. Just start eating quality foods. And you're going to lose a good, nice chunk of weight right off the beginning, most likely. So you want to start fixing your food choices. I sent you should have gotten the email. If you didn't, maybe you joined late, or maybe for whatever reason you didn't get it, email me, and I'll send it out to you. It was a BLPF food list and a FEONS. It said FEONS. That's Foods Essential for Optimal Nutrition. That's kind of your grocery list, I call it. If you just start eating those foods and take out the crap that you were eating and replace with that, you're already going to be on your way to making a lot of changes. So start replacing old foods with new foods. Quality foods will allow you to eat more volume. So you can eat a big piece of fish and broccoli, and it could be your whole plate, and you might only get 300 calories. Well, that's like, 8 Pringles potato chips? You see what I mean? So you can eat a lot more food when you eat quality food. Why most people fail is they're hungry. So don't overcomplicate it. So what happens is junk food tastes good. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but it does. People enjoy the taste of it. They have people at these companies that they pay lots and lots of money to find the exact amount of sugar, salt, chemicals, whatever, to make the food taste like super duper good. So that when you eat one bite of something, you're like, oh, I wouldn't mind having some more of that. And so you eat some more. And then you start saying, oh, I'm going to keep eating that because I like the taste of it. That is why people fail on their diet, because junk food tastes good. So I don't know if that was a secret to anybody. So what you want to do is you want to start making your food taste good. Okay, so try not to live off of just plain grilled chicken and broccoli and sweet potato with nothing on it. Learn how to make delicious, nutritious meals that you actually enjoy the taste of, okay? That's going to help out a lot, so you're not so fast to just like, oh, I hate this food, I have to go eat something that comes out of a can. But keep tracking your food. Even as you're eating, making these choices, still keep tracking your food. Put it in your fitness app, in your nutrition app, so you know how much food you're eating. When you are doing it right, a good meal plan will achieve 3 things. You will look better, you will perform better, and you'll be healthier. If anytime you ever do any, you call it diet plan, exercise plan, program, anything, if it's not achieving all 3 of those, it's a triangle, okay? If you're not achieving all 3 of those, then it's not a good plan. You have to look better, perform better, and be healthier. Keep in mind, this is one of my favorite things I ever read, that is if you train a nutrient deficient body, you will only have further deficiencies. So make sure you're not starving yourself. Give yourself this quality food, because if you give yourself quality food, you're going to train better. That means you're going to perform better, you're going to look better, you're going to be healthier. It all kind of goes around, combines, all works together, okay? So think about that when you're coming up with your food. Next slide. Super simple, just make sure you structure your days and your meals. So if structure makes life easier. So what I mean by that is have a plan for what you're going to do the next day and the next week. Have it all planned out, and then cook in bulk if you have to. Come up with a way to prepare your food that works for you. Some people, they're fortunate enough for whatever reason, maybe they can get up and they have time, they can cook all their food for the day in the morning. Maybe you have someone that cooks all your food for you. Maybe you have to cook all your food on Sunday for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then on Wednesday you cook for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or something like that. You have to come up with the plan that allows you to have your food ready to eat when it's time to eat. Because again, why people fail is because they don't have their food around them. Okay, the key to success is it's time to eat. I'm hungry. Oh, here's my food. It's already prepped. It's the food I'm supposed to have. It's already, all you do is take it out of the fridge and reheat it. That is the secret right there. It's that simple. Yeah.
The email that I got only has 3 slides on it, so I don't know if that's the same. Mine only has 4.
Oh, really? Oh, dear. Does everybody else have them all? Hold on. Hold on. I'll fix it. Hold on. We were on such a roll, too. Who has all of them? Oh, I see what I did there. I see what I did. I see what I did. Okay. Hold on, I'll fix it real fast. Most of you got the one that only had like 3 or 4 slides on it, right? Yes. Okay. Just take 1 second. That's all. I didn't want you guys to know any more information than that. Okay, I'm gonna send it in a second. If you got this and you were one of the people before that didn't get the right ones, see if this does it. We're on such a roll too. Okay. I just sent it out again to some of you. So someone should have got it. We needed a break anyways. Okay. Did anybody get a new one and it was right? Yeah? See. All righty. A. Okay, almost done. B, 2024, B and H. Okay. All right, does anybody else need one? Last one should be right here. Okay. I think everybody should have gotten them now. Everybody got it? Good? Everybody good? Nice. Okay. What's that? Yep. Yep. Okay, so when it comes to your food, so I'm on slide number 7. It says structure your days and meals. It's the 7th one down. It says structure days and meals. So having your food ready is super key, right, to being prepared. Here's something that when I told people, they were really shocked that I recommended this because it does not sound like me. But technology has changed in the food prep service over the last several years. And when I was unsuccessfully running for city council, if you live in Meadville and didn't vote for me, I'm upset. But all right. When I was running, though, I was very busy because I had to be right from the gym, and I had to go right to like meetings all the time. And I was like, holy cow! Like I wasn't coming home until like 8:30 to eat food, and I was like, this is nuts, man. Like I can't do this for like 3 or 4 months. So I started looking into the services, not like HelloFresh that you have to cook the food and do the whole thing. I'm talking about there's a ton of them. Trifecta, Fresh and Lean. You name it. I think I get a thing for them on Facebook like 12 a day. fuel meals. There's a whole bunch of them. I found one that I liked, and other ones might be better. I use the one called Fresh and Lean. There could be better ones, but the food, you can pick your plan. Like, do you want to be high in protein? Do you like Mediterranean diet? Do you like keto? Do you like whatever you like? And then you can pick up to, I mean, I just do 5 meals a week, because then I cook the rest of mine, but they're my dinners, because my wife does fasting in the morning, so she doesn't eat at night, and my kids eat before I get home. So I was just cooking like this dinner for myself, and I started going like, hey, I'll try this thing. They taste good. Are they amazing? They're not amazing, but they're very, very good. And I can come home, I can get home at 7 o'clock, and they come, I don't get paid by them or anything. I'm just really telling you honestly, okay? Although I should see if I could get paid. They come vacuum sealed and in ice. They're not frozen, but they're in ice, okay? So every Saturday I get 5 meals. And it has all the ingredients and the proteins, the carbs, and the fats, everything on there. I just put them in my fridge. Then when I come home, say like 7 o'clock at night, I can walk in the door at 7, and I'm eating by 7:05. And then I just throw that thing away, and boom, done. Dinner's done. I did it. No cleanup, no thing. And I mean, salmon with vegetables. I had one that had a filet. The other had filet with cauliflower rice risotto. I mean, there's very good meals. So I still think if you can purchase, prepare, cook, and eat your own food, that is number one choice. I think that's the best thing. If I was getting ready for like a bodybuilding show, I probably would not do that. But I'm not doing bodybuilding shows anymore, and I just keep my weight, and I'm happy how I look now. So I've been doing that now for several months, and I've kept my weight and body fat exactly the same. So it's something you might want to consider, okay? You might want to look into them. I don't know if I have any more information than that, but you might want to think about looking into one of those services, especially if you're one of those people that just never preps. Oh, I know my trainer said I should prep, and I just never do it. Well, then call one of the places and get some food sent to you. And it's not expensive. I mean, it is, but not a whole lot more expensive than like buying your food. I get 5 meals, and I think it's $75 a week. Okay? It's like $75 a week, but if you go buy all your food, it's probably, yeah. Okay? So, next slide. Structure continued. When you're structuring your meals, super simple. Every time you eat, this is like the bread and butter of the BLPF program. Every time you eat, it's super simple. You should say to yourself, where's my protein source? Do I have a protein? That's the number one thing. I sit down, do I have a source of protein? I sent this to you in those emails. If you don't have a protein, you need to go get a protein, or never make that mistake again, but get a protein. Second thing, do I have the right type of carbohydrate? So we break our carbs into 2 different kinds here. We have low energy carbs, we have high energy carbs. Okay? Low energy carbs are the kind of carbs that basically are found natural out of the ground, like on a plant or a bush or a tree. For the most part, there's always exceptions. And high energy carbs are the kinds that come in like a box. They're processed, have a label on them, Ritz crackers or something like that, right? We want to eat low energy carbs for just about every single meal. We only want to eat high energy carbs immediately post-training for recovery. One could argue before training for energy if you feel like you need it. I'm not going to yell at you if you have some carbs before you work out because you feel like you need the energy for a hard leg day. So I'd argue right around your workout is when you need high energy carbs. You don't need them any other time of day. You don't need to, if you work out in the morning, you don't need to be having high energy carbs later at night, okay? Just have them around your workout. Now, some people are extremely lean, they have fast metabolisms, or they're trying to gain weight. Yes, you might need to have more high energy carbs. You come talk to me and we work. That's not the bulk of the people, so that's not what I'm going to address right now. But some people, they need to do that. And then fats. You should have a high quality fat source, preferably with a high amount of omega-3s. That's on that sheet I sent you, with every single meal. So simple. When you sit down to eat, do I have my protein source? Check. Do I have the right kind of carbohydrate? Check. Do I have a good fat source, preferably with omega-3s in it? Check. Boom, you had a good meal. Okay, that's how it's that simple for a good meal. And make them taste good. Next slide. Number of meals. So I'm a fan of a lot of meals. And you're seeing the first one to say at least 3. Bill, you always say at least 6. I like more meals. I also want you to be very successful, and I don't want you to beat yourself up or think you're a failure if you're not getting your 6 meals in. Okay? I'm really progressing, aren't I, Kim? Right? Okay. So it used to be eat 6 meals or you suck. I still like. I actually eat more. I eat 7 or 8 meals a day, but A bare minimum of 3. You should be working, I believe you should work your way up to 6 meals. I think the more opportunities you give yourself to have the proper food, the better it's going to fuel your body, the better you're going to perform, the better your metabolism is going to be. Also, when you're less hungry, you tend not to pick as much and eat things. So if you're eating every 3 hours, which is what I prefer, you're typically not going to be grabbing, oh, gee, I got to grab a snack. What do you mean a snack? You just ate. I had people say to me, they're like, what do I eat for a snack? I'm like, you're eating every 3 hours. What do you need? What do you need? Can't go more than 14 seconds without eating something. Less hunger equals more energy, retain muscle, so that's good. At least get these meals in, to me. You should get, and I know I'll talk about intermittent fasting in a minute, but within a few hours of waking, you should eat, I believe. Within an hour after you train. These are meals I would just say I don't ever skip, ever. I don't skip any of my meals. I don't skip any of my meals, but I definitely would say don't skip these meals. Within an hour after, a couple hours of waking up, within an hour after training, that's your recovery meal. And about an hour or two before bed, I think you should at least have some sort of protein before you go to bed for the night. And ideally, you should be eating I wrote 2 to 5 hours, just because I'm thinking of your average person that isn't quite into the 6 meals a day yet. I think 3 is ideal, because a perfect day, if you ate at, let's say, 6 a.m., you're eating at 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, boom, go to bed. You get 6 meals in. That's what I've done my whole life. I've done that. I'm 49 years old, and I have eaten that way. You can ask my mother. I have eaten that way since I was in junior high. Okay? So that's what I believe in. That's what I do. So that's what I recommend. I understand that a lot of you are still learning. Let's talk a little bit about fasting and calorie rotating. I talked about it a lot last year. They're popular ideas. I think great if you like them, not magical. Okay, so I'll use my wife as an example. My wife loves fasting. She lives for the fasting. She struggled before, always trying to keep her meal plan the way she wanted it. But once she tried fasting, it worked for her because it works for her mentality. Again, it's not like it's magical. It's really just a great way to restrict calories. That's what it is, because you're only eating during this time frame. When she started doing that, she lost the weight she wanted to lose, and she has kept it off within a pound or 2 for over a year. So if that is your personality and you like to fast, that's great. I can help you with it. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail with it right now because not everybody's going to do it, so I don't want to waste all that precious time. But basically, you set yourself up an eating window and a non-eating window, and you don't eat outside of that window. If you're going to fast, a good way to start, I think, is a 12-12. So you say, okay, I only eat, and I'm just making these numbers up, I'm going to eat from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm not going to eat after 6. I'm not going to eat until 6 a.m. the next day. That's going well. Hey, I'm not even that hungry. I feel really good. Okay, fine. Try maybe only eating for 10 hours and not eating for 14. You like that and you feel really good about it? You can go all the way down to 8. Don't eat less than 8 hours, okay? And during those 8 hours, in my opinion, if you're going to have a fasting window where you're eating just a certain time, have that during your workout time. So if you work out in the morning, your window of eating should be in the morning. If you're going to work out at night, your window of eating should be at nighttime. Because I don't know how you don't have a recovery meal. I don't know how somebody works out and doesn't have a recovery shake and recovery meal. I would question how hard you worked out if you don't have those things. As far as calorie rotating, I've said this before. I think that kind of happens naturally as you just have your workout days, non-workout days, and cardio days. And it's okay to eat towards your hunger too. You might have a day where you eat, a little bit more food because I was really hungry today. You may have a day where I wasn't that hungry, so I didn't eat as much today. That's okay. Still get all your meals in. If you want to make your meals smaller that day, that's fine. If you were super hungry one day, we've all had days where we're kind of hungry, like, I don't know why I'm so hungry today. You can eat a little bit more. Just track it. If you're tracking it, you can look and you might have, hey, Monday's got 1,200 calories, Tuesday had 1,500, Wednesday had 1,350. Blah. That's why you track them. Keep that super easy. You add them up for the week, okay? There's 7 days in a week. Is everybody with me? You track your food, add them up, you divide by 7. That is your weekly average, daily, your caloric average for the week. Let's just say it's 1,400 calories. Okay, if you're not losing weight at 1,400 calories, I will tell you how much you should skim out. There's a whole thing. I don't want to mess up everybody out, but there's a formula what I like to do. If you're not losing at 1,400, then you need to skip it down. Let's say we skip you down to 1,250. Okay, every day doesn't need to be 1,250. Okay, you can have a day that's 1,800. You may have a day that's 1,000. You know what I mean? The key though is the weekly average would have to be less. And as long as you're paying attention to that weekly average, like when I did my bodybuilding shows, I mean, I would go down, usually like when I was really getting lean, I would be down to like 2,200 calories. I don't think I had any days that actually had exactly 2,200 calories. My leg day might have had 2,900 calories. My Sunday where I don't lift or did any cardio might have only been 1,200 calories. You know what I mean? But the average, so I would always look here, what's my weekly average? Boom, here it is. And what happened? Oh, I lost 1.5 pounds. Okay, now that I know that when I eat this and I do this activity, I lose about 1.5 pounds. And that really shouldn't change all that much. You might have a week where it doesn't change, but it'll stay pretty consistent, okay? Your body doesn't adjust that quick. So if you ate like that and you lost 1.5 pounds 1 week, you'll probably lose it the next week, all right? So just stick with it. Questions about any of that? That's why it's so important to please keep track of your food. Keep track of your food and your calories. It makes all the difference in the world. Quick recap before we start the very last couple slides. Take a before photo. This is the result of your habits. Keep that in mind. So have a before photo. I'm a fan, and some people actually did this last year. I was proud of those people. When you get your before photo, make it your screensaver. I'm a huge fan of that. Okay? You don't like it? Boom, look at it every day. Look at it every day. This is what you look like. Every time you turn your phone on, this is what I look like. But then give yourself something to look forward to. Redo your picture every 2 weeks by yourself. Well, I get to change it in 2 weeks. Thank God. I'm going to work so hard. I'm going to change this stupid picture. I can't stand how I look. Boom, 2 weeks. Okay? I'm a huge fan of that. Try to make 3 new habits that you're going to be successful with. Like I said, you don't have to change everything at once. Let's just start off the bat. If you've never done it, this is all completely new to you, just pick 3 things that you're going to be successful with. Hey, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times starting in January. And I'm going to eat breakfast every day. And I'm going to have a protein shake after I work out. Boom, that's 3 things you weren't doing before. Okay? So build off those habits. If you're successful in those 3 habits, keep building, keep building, keep building. Again, start tracking all of your food and activity, all of it. Base your food choices off the charts that I sent you. Know what you're going to be eating. That's your structure. Okay? Know what you're going to be eating tomorrow. Like if I say to you, hey, we're working out on Wednesday. Hey, what are you eating? What are you eating today? Which I have asked. Chris? I train Chris in the morning, but Chris, what are you eating today? You better not tell me you don't know, or I give you the business, right? Structure your meals properly with proteins, the right type of carbs and fats. Try to eat more often than you're eating now. Not more calories, okay? I didn't say eat more calories, I said eat more often. If you're eating the right foods and eating more often, you'll probably still eat less calories, but you're going to be fuller, okay? You're making better choices. Intermittent fast and carb rotating if it fits you, okay? We're going to talk real quickly, not a lot about this. There's only a couple slides left. We're talking about macros. What are macros? Because people ask me this all the time. And I always tell people it's not that important. That's always my answer. Well, it's really not that important. But I still get asked it all the time, so I really think I want to touch on it so you don't hear it from some jackass and you hear it from me, this jackass. Okay? So, macros are the percentage of proteins, carbs, and fats that you put in your diet. They're your macronutrients, okay? So that's what proteins, carbs, and fats are. They are important in a way, but they are not nearly as important as just making the right food choices. If you only ate what I sent you off that Fion's list, a lot of problems already solved, okay? But if we want to get a little bit more precise, I'm going to teach you how to get more precise. Proper food choices, like I said, solve most problems. We base our macros off of your fat-free mass, not your total weight. You'll read sometimes eat 1 gram of protein per pound or whatever it is, or 1.5 grams of carbs per pound. I like to go fat-free mass. That's always made more sense to me, is basing your food off of your muscle, because if you are 38% body fat, I don't want you, and you weigh 300 pounds, I don't want you eating 300 grams of protein. That's way too much protein. So base it off your fat-free mass. So, for example, if you weigh 150 pounds and you have 20% body fat, we'll do a little math for us, 150 times 20%, don't forget the decimal, I wrote that in there, is 30 pounds of fat. 150 minus 30 equals 120. You have 120 pounds of fat-free mass. You will base your numbers off of fat-free mass. To the new people, did I make it clear that you don't have to do all this? Second part, okay? Make good choices. Then if you want to get more precise, this is how you do it. Proteins, I'm going to go over this super fast. Proteins, have a source with each meal. I have, like I said before, then have roughly, I like 1.5 grams of protein per pound of fat-free mass, roughly. You can go up to 2. Some people that are leaner, trying to get bigger, whatever the reason, they might want to go up to 2. There's no reason to go above 2. And if you're really struggling to lose weight, you might need to go down to 1. But around 1.5, 1.3, 1.5, something around there. I would start at 1.5. That would be my number to start with. A person with fat-free mass of 120 pounds would eat 180 grams of protein a day. And you would break that protein up and fairly even throughout the day. So if you eat 6 meals a day, that would be 30 grams every meal. Super simple, okay? Doesn't have to be exact, by the way. Fats. Have a fat with each meal, ideally. Not as important in your post-training meals. So right after you work out, your main focus is protein and carbs, not fats. But on all your other meals, you want to get some fat, a good fat source. If you're counting your numbers, if you want to do your macros, 0.35 to 0.5 is ideal. I would not go below maybe the end of Dream Team, and you might win, and you're like really trying to hit a goal. You could drop them below for like 3 weeks. But for the bulk of Dream Team, I would not go below 0.35. There's too many things that fats do to keep you healthy, keep your hormones straight and all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't go below that. And you don't need to really go above 0.5. I wrote 5. It should be 0.5. So an example, a person with a fat-free mass of 120 pounds would eat anywhere from 42 to 60 grams of fat a day. Most of those sources should come from omega-3s, which I sent you in those handouts. So make sure you look at those. Carbs. Carbs are the tricky one. Remember I talked about low energy carbs and high energy carbs. Low energy carbs, again, are the kind that I want you to eat most of the time. Those are the ones that are found natural. Oh, I'm going to grab a berry off this bush, apple off this tree, this sweet potato out of the ground, okay? These are my low energy carbs. High energy carbs, I switched them. Shit. I switched them. Switch those. So high energy carbs are like your oats, your sweet potatoes, your rice, things like that. I just seen if you guys are paying attention, and you were, you pass. Okay. Carbohydrates, like I said, it's tricky because it depends on so many variables. Everything, how much you work out, how old you are, your metabolism, your genetics, all kinds of things. Your carb sensitivity. Does anybody here just walk by Dave's Donuts and gain 3 pounds and their ass jiggles for a week and a half? Does anybody else do that? Dave, you're at fault. But some people, you get Clem eats 6 donuts and he's skinnier the next day. Okay, that's called carb sensitivity. That's why nobody likes Clem, by the way. Okay, so that's carb sensitivity. The nice thing about carb sensitivity is as you eat better, your body's carb sensitivity changes and gets better. So the better you eat for the longer period of time, your body starts using calories better. So once your body starts using those calories better, you have better carb sensitivity. And nutrient partitioning is what it's called, if you want to sound extra intelligent up here, okay? So that means your calories going where they're supposed to go. So some people that are in not great shape, let's say if you're not in great shape, when you guys eat calories, the calories aren't going in the body and doing what they're supposed to do. Over time of eating the right types of foods and having a good workout program, the calories will start to work and go where they're supposed to go. So you still should be eating low energy carbs with most meals. High energy carbs mostly around your workout. And really your carbs can vary anywhere from just 0.5, that's very low, 0.5 grams per pound of fat-free mass, all the way up to even 3 grams. Like when I was competing in my bodybuilding shows, on my high days, I competed at 154 pounds is my weight class. And I would eat on my high days, like I'm talking like 3-4 weeks away from a show, I would eat 400 grams of carbohydrates a day on my high days. My low days, I would eat like 75 grams. See what I mean? So it can be a big range. A good place to start, about 1.5 grams, about the same as your protein, roughly the same as your protein, and we can always lower it. The important thing is keeping track of it. Keep track so we know. Because it doesn't really, whatever the number is what it is. If you're not losing body fat, whatever that number is, we need to change something. So we just have to know the number, okay? We can always increase it if we have to. BLN recovery. I want to talk about that just super fast. Sales pitch here. So what this is recovery. We have it. We designed it here at the gym. It is purely whey protein isolate and dextrose. Dextrose is basically a sugar. This is the only time that I really tell you to get some sugar in your body is immediately post-training. It helps with recovery, helps the recovery process, helps to rebuild muscle, helps to re-nourish your body, does all kinds of replenish glycogen, all kinds of things. Flavor tastes really good. If you take things like creatine, glutamine, branched-chain amino acids, beta-alanine, those kind of compounds, you can mix them right in with your recovery. That's what I do. I mix them right in, okay? What I do is I have a small serving right before my workout, and I have a bigger serving after I work out. I personally have a scoop before and 2 scoops after. You might be slightly different. Have some. It doesn't have to be that much. Have some. We sell it here. It's $40, and I do strongly recommend it, especially after intense workouts. You're going through a hard leg day, man, and you're killing it. You're hitting squats to failure and lunging. You got to get some recovery, okay? So make sure you think about that. We talked about that. Okay. Now I'm just going to go through. I have 4 pages of advice. This was just stuff that was swirling around in my head when I was putting slides in the wrong spot and sending out the wrong emails. My advice: rotate between real food meals and shakes. You don't have to. This is my advice. Things I've always done. Again, ask my mother. If you see her in here, she'll tell you that Bill has always had breakfast, then a shake, lunch, then a shake, dinner, then a shake. I've done it my whole life as long as I can remember. I like it. It feels good. It works. It's successful. If you don't like it, don't do it. But that's what I've always done. That way I'm getting 3 real food meals a day, 3 shakes a day. That's what I like to do. Try to stay completely away from alcohol. I know like some of you are like, so, no. That's a deal breaker. Even the clear stuff, right? Even the clear stuff. Oh, I just had vodka. It's still calories, okay? I mean, yes, it's better than having 6 craft beers, but you still want to stay away from alcohol as much as you can. There's nothing good's happening. Nothing good. Purchase, prepare, and cook your own food. We talked about that. I talked about food services. We're going to skip over that. If you find yourself justifying your decisions, you are most likely screwing up. Oh, that's not that bad if I just kind of stop in here and get this chicken sandwich and throw the bun away. That's pretty much the same thing. It's not, okay? We don't know what you're doing. They don't know. At McDonald's, don't eat anything from McDonald's, anything that's coming out of there. Your body won't change until your mind does. Don't just overlook that statement. If this doesn't change, this doesn't change. I can't stress that enough. It's got to happen up here first. You got to know what you're going to do. You have to be very clear about what your goal is. You have to see your goal in high definition and what you want to do. Once you have that mindset, another thing it says in the book Atomic Habits, they use the example of smoking, but I use the example of desserts. The example they give about smoking is, take someone who's trying, just look at the difference between these 2 things. Someone trying to quit smoking. They're at the bar. Someone offers them a cigarette. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm trying to smoke. I probably shouldn't have I probably shouldn't. That person is getting up smoking later that night, okay? Now this way, you want a cigarette? I don't smoke. Do you see the difference? That mindset right there changes everything. Same thing, you're at a birthday party for a kid. You don't have to have the kid's birthday cake. You're not hurting the kid's feelings. The kid does not give 2 shits if you have his birthday cake or not, okay? If someone says, hey, you slice this cake. Oh, I don't know, I'm doing Dream Team. I probably shouldn't. You're going to end up having cake. I don't eat dessert. See the difference? I don't eat dessert. Thank you. Conversation's over, okay? So your mindset. Getting into good habits is the key to success in everything in life. Advice, continued. You will have moments of weakness during Dream Team. It's 17 week. You're going to have times like, what am I doing? I'm getting pizza. Okay? Look at your before picture. Just look at it. And say, what is more important to me? The immediate satisfaction of a piece of pizza that usually doesn't even taste that good, or the longer term gratification of reaching the body that you want to reach? Okay, we all have choices, and when you make a choice, all you're doing, making choices is simply value clarification. You're just saying what's more important to you. Anytime you make any kind of choice, what's important to me? It is more important to me to have these M&Ms than it is to lose the fat on my stomach. Say it out loud. I'd rather eat these M&Ms. I don't care if I'm fat. Then fine, own it. You did it. That's fine. Good. But then don't eat them and go, I don't understand. Okay. We want you to eat. We want you to eat a lot of good food. You should not be starving. And speaking of starving, I used the same example last year. Are you really starving, or do you just want to eat some bad foods? Because I don't think anybody here is, no one's ever starved to death in Dream Team yet. Not one single person's ever starved. No one ever said, hey, whatever happened to Mike who was on your team? He starved to death. Done. He did. He got really hungry and died. Okay? So you're going to be fine. I always keep in mind, there's kids in Somalia with nothing to eat. Nothing to eat. And you have grilled chicken and vegetables and a sweet potato. You're going to be fine. Shut up. Okay? Don't complain to people either. Like, nobody, your best friend in the whole world that knows all your secrets at the bachelor party and everything, they don't want to hear you complain about your food. They don't. Your kids don't want to hear you complain about your food. Your spouse doesn't want to hear you complain. Your coworkers don't. If you're my coworker, I'd say, well, shut up and eat some food then. No one wants you to complain about it. Just do it. Just do the things. Don't complain about them. You smile about it. You can be miserable sometimes inside. You smile about it, okay? Don't hit the snooze button. Just don't do it, man. Just get up. Like set it for the latest time you can get up, and get up. Don't start your day with a failure. Don't make your first decision of the day what a failing person would do. First thing I did was get out of bed. I didn't do it. Okay? So get out of bed. Okay? Wake up. Advice continue number 3, put your phone away. Go to bed. Stay on your phone like this. You're not going to get good night's sleep because of some with the blue lights and all that shit. There's probably glasses they can do, right? Just keep that blue light away. Can you sell those? Yeah. Go see Kim, get those glasses so you don't stay awake. Put your phone away. You can't not overemphasize how important it is to get sleep. And I know it's a big deal because I talk to a lot of people that don't sleep, okay? And you gotta sleep. You have to work on it. Make your room dark. Make your room quiet. Make your room cold. Put your phone away. Turn the shit off. Go to bed. Okay? You will start, if you're tired enough, you'll end up going to sleep. But give yourself the best chance of success in a good atmosphere of sleeping. Okay, make that room super. No, I bought one of these about 3 or 4 months ago. I could not believe the difference it made. Super simple. I bought one of those masks, the sleep mask that you see people on TV wearing sometimes. I bought one of those. Even though we already have a pitch black, I always thought pitch black room anyways, it just makes it even darker. And if you put that over your eyes, you're like, oh, I'm going to sleep. And so they have some now that will block out like sound too. So not if your wife gets the kids and you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Learn to manage your stress. Yoga, meditation, something, whatever it is. Learn to and you should not have to manage your stress by coming in and working out. You shouldn't, honestly. And no one loves working out more than me, but I had a bad day. Okay. Learn, focus, think, okay? This is a huge one. I say this one every single year because I believe in it to my core. Hang out with successful people who are go-getters. Do not aim to be the best person in your mediocre group. Be around people that are achieving things. I believe that in every single aspect of life, okay? So this group's successful. They're over there doing boot camp. I want to be their partner. I'll be with these guys, okay? So be around the people that are making it happen. Don't be around people who give you the excuse. And when you say, oh man, I was gonna come to boot camp, but I was tired, I had a long day, and I understand. The person that does that, that's not your person anymore. The person that goes, bullshit, get in here. That's your person, okay? So get around good people. If you haven't yet, a good thing to do this weekend before Dream Team starts, do the pillage, purge, and replace. You know what that is? That's when you go through your kitchen and you pillage the refrigerator and you purge the cupboards. You way back in there, get the Hostess ding-dongs, throw them away. Get all the Halloween candy you've never thrown away yet. Throw it in the garbage. Your kids don't need it, throw it. Throw your kids away. Throw your kids in there. Okay? And then what you do is you make your plan and you go replace all those foods. Your refrigerator should look very pretty. Last one. Last slide. Talk about cheat meals real fast. Cheat meals are like really interesting because I really believe that cheat meals are such an individual thing. I have trained people through Dream Teams that from day one or from week one, they had a cheat meal every Friday and they just had the best Dream Teams in the world. I have some people that if they eat a cheat meal on Friday, they're cheating on Saturday, they're cheating on Sunday. They can't deal with it. I don't know what to tell you. That has to be what you find is best for you. Some people do better including them. Some people don't. But either way, like I said before, don't be an all or nothing person. If you do want to have a little cheat meal, don't beat yourself up over it. But you have to find what works for you. Our principles that we tell you here, these are universal, holistic. Universal twice. I was doing this so fast. What do I mean by universal? Oh, they're also timeless. That's what I meant, right? So, and timeless. So, universal, holistic, and timeless, which means they've worked from the beginning of time. Our bodies have not changed. I just had this talk with a chiropractor the other day. And, I was getting adjusted, and he said, he's talked to chiropractors, say, I make an individual routine for everybody that comes in. A friend of his was saying this. He's like, everybody's got the same bones. You don't need an individual chiropractic routine. Your bones are out of line, you fix them and you do them. Same thing with your nutrition. We're all more the same than we are different. Okay? So this is going to work for everybody, but it has always worked. It'll work for your great-great-grandmother and it'll work for your great-great-grandkids. And also you have to do all the things though. You can't just pick and choose what you want to do. Follow the entire plan. Finally, get yourself some clean shoes if you haven't done so already, preferably with the flat soles on them that are good for squatting. Running shoes that look like this, when you squat, you're going to roll up on your toes. Get the flat shoes. I like the ones from a company called Tyr, T-Y-R. I love them. The person to ask is Allison, trainer Allison. She has all the shoes and knows all the things about all the shoes. So ask her, but flat-soled shoes. Have a good attitude. Don't be pissy, okay? If you have a bad weigh-in, don't bring everybody else down in your workout group because you had a bad weigh-in, okay? They don't want that. We're here to support each other. We're here to help each other. We will rise each other up. If you're secretly disappointed, you can be secretly disappointed, but again, a bad attitude, what to say, is contagious, right? So you don't want to be like, stupid scale. Scale didn't do it either, okay? The scale didn't do it. So come with a good attitude and come ready to fight on Monday. Come fired up. Man, we're going to have so much fun starting Monday. You won't do your next weigh-in until so we start Dream Team on the 8th. The 12th is Friday. We won't weigh in then. We won't weigh in until the next week. So you have almost 3 weeks till your weigh-in. So it should be an amazing weigh-in. I will, however, let you step on the scale next week to see how you're doing. But it won't be an official weigh-in. So you'll weigh in your initial one, then your next one won't be until that next week. Be sure to follow all of our social media and make sure you are on the email list and make sure your team is on the email list. Okay? Our social media, the one we put all the information on is the BLPF member page on Facebook. You have to ask to be on that. If you haven't done that, request to do so, and Tara will let you in. I don't really look at it that much. I tell her what to put on. I put a couple things on. And other than that, guys, we're going to have like the greatest Dream Team contest in the world. May 4th, block it off. That is going to be the banquet. And I already changed the food for it this year. I changed the food. We're having hamburger bar. Hamburgers. I was talking to Tara about it. I'm like, why are we having chicken and green beans? Everybody's had that for the last 17 weeks. So we're going to have Julian's, I think, is going to do a burger bar for us. All the different things you can do with a burger. And like a French fry station and all kinds. Oh, it's going to be good. But if you don't do Dream Team, you have to sit there and eat a salad. You do. You have to eat a salad. We'll all laugh at you. We'll all walk by and laugh. Okay? So make sure to eat the good foods, okay, guys? What's that? Say it one more time. Yes. Questions, comments, concerns, dilemmas, or problems? Any questions besides the 1 or 2 mess ups I made right there? Listen, thank you so much for coming. It's going to be the best Dream Team ever. If you have any questions, you make sure you email me. I'll make sure I reply to you. And I look super forward to seeing you guys on Monday, man. Thanks for coming, okay? Thank you. All right.